Hi there, my name is Claire, but you can call me Clur, and welcome back to Clur Reads. Woo! It's February, and I didn't post anything in January. Woo! Today I am coming at you with my January reading wrap up, so I'll be telling you all about all the books that I read in January. So the new year didn't really go as planned for me, and probably not for a lot of people. I feel like January was really rough. I think, we were all hopeful for the new year, but, you know, with political turmoil, the inauguration, going back to work after the holidays, I just feel like it's just been a month, and honestly, the only thing that's kept me smiling has been reading, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm really excited to talk about these books, and I'm very excited that January is over. So I started off the year with this beautiful, beautiful novel. This is Piranesi by Susanna Clark, and I said this on my little mini Instagram review that I did about this, but this is the type of book you want to go into not knowing much about it, but basically the main character, who is named Piranesi, lives in this, what they call the house, and it's just a seemingly endless number of rooms that are connected together, and the basement is the sea, the first floor is the livable land, and the second floor is the sky. And it's very atmospheric, very mysterious. There are things to uncover. It's such a fascinating book, and honestly, it's like, it only took me like 24 hours to read. I tore right through it. It was like the perfect way to start off the year for reading, and I think I can honestly say it's up there with like my favorite books of all time now. It's such a great book. I highly recommend it. It's truly a wonderful, beautiful, incredible story. Something else I really like about this book is that it's told from Piranesi's point of view, but it's in a journal format. So he's writing to himself about what's happening around him, and he's very like meticulous, and he keeps logs of things, and it's truly fascinating to peek into his mind. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything about the plot. I don't think you should go into this knowing anything about the plot. Just read it. It's amazing. Big yes. Yes, yes, yes. Woo. I say woo a lot. Am I a woo girl? Sean, am I a woo girl? But like, in the good way? Not like this sticking half my body out of the roof of a limo way? With a cowgirl hat on?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Just check in. Thank you. I love you. I'm a mess. So the next few books I read were actually the Folk of the Air trilogy, which I got as ebooks from the library, so I'll put a little picture of those up right there. So this is, more commonly known as the Cruel Prince series, and so I read the trilogy and then one of the novellas that takes place between the first and second books. I wasn't able to get my hands on the most recent novella. I don't even remember what it's called because it wasn't available at the library, but honestly, I don't plan on reading it. This series is so hyped up online. It's one of those, like, fantasy series that, like, where the stands go hard, and I was always like a bit intrigued about it, but I went into it, with pretty low expectations, and I'm glad I did, because it wasn't that great. Like, please don't come for me, but I didn't love it. It was fast paced, and like, I like books that have fae in it, and it was a fun time, but like, I don't think it's like, mind blowing or anything. And yeah, it just wasn't for me. And I also didn't like how, well, I don't really like how the fans of this series like glorify like the main romance of the story. Like, I do not think like Carden deserves the the obsession that people have with him. Like, I just, why is his like terrible, like borderline, like abusive bullying and behavior like justified for a romance? I get that it's called the blah, 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 blah. I get that it's called the Cruel Prince, but like I just was uncomfortable reading it. I didn't like how the bully becomes the love interest. It just was not something I was interested in. You know, I can appreciate an enemies to lovers romance, but that one was not for me. And also, there were about 10,000 love triangles in this story, and I just didn't feel very attached to any of the characters. Yeah. So I read all of that in one weekend. So 3 full novels and a novella in the span of 3 days. I think I read it during a long weekend. So yeah, I did a lot of reading. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I got it out of my system, but like, and it, it was a good way to kick off my Goodreads challenge for the year, but can't say it was like amazing. I wouldn't recommend it, to be completely honest with you. So that's what happened with that. Ugh. Then the last full book that I finished was The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This was a reread. I said in one of my previous videos in December, like, this is one of my favorite series of all time. And it was so good to revisit this near the end of the month. I had a really hard month, and reading this like felt like, being hugged, being embraced. It was warm, it was inviting, it was cozy. It just felt like I was coming home. That's why I love rereading books. I love being, enveloped in a story once again. And also, I love how you can discover new things about the story that you didn't notice before when you were first reading it. So, reading it with knowing what's going to happen, I picked up on so many like little like hints, cues, little foreshadowing bits that Laini Taylor sprinkled in throughout the story that, if you didn't know, you wouldn't have picked up on it. So I'm definitely really, really enjoying this reread. Also, it was just like incredibly wonderful to read the beautiful 10-year anniversary editions. I can't get over how gorgeous these are. They're absolutely incredible. So, so beautiful. And although I haven't finished it yet, I'm gonna count it into my little wrap up here for you. I started Days of Blood and Starlight, which is the second book in the series, and as you can see, I'm almost halfway through. This is a grocery list that I'm using as a bookmark. It reminds me of that meme. I don't know which one I would be. Am I like chaotic neutral? I don't know. I'm gonna put it up on the screen and we'll figure out what I am. But yes, I love the original Daughter of Smoke and Bone book, but I think the 2 and 3 are like so good, because while the first one really sets up, the story, these books really like blow up the world in terms of like, it's very expansive. You get tons of world building, you get tons of history, you get more characters. We get my beautiful boy Ziri, like, he's like one of my favorite characters in this series, and I just love him so much. I would die for him. And so I'm very much enjoying this. Also, we get more Susanna and Mick and like their storyline, like another highlight of this. So I'm very, very happy to be rereading this. I'll definitely finish this in February, and I want to read the third book in February as well. Woo! So that was all the reading I did in January, but I also wanted to do a little check-in here on YouTube about my book budget and how that's going. So, it's month one, or well, it's the end of month one, and I didn't actually like feel like the deep urge to buy something. I actually just, coming off of the high of all those books I got for Christmas, I felt like icky and like over consumerism-y to like want to get another book. So I was like, I think I'm okay for right now. I thought about not even buying a book. I thought about like subscribing to like a quarterly magazine, like that's like the same price as a hardcover, like, to fill in the gap of what a book purchase for the month would be. But I ultimately, came to the conclusion like, this is your first month of your book budget. You should buy a book, do the standard, and then you can bend all the rules later in the year, with skipping a month or, getting that magazine or whatever. So I decided that I wanted to buy a book. Surprise. And I kind of went into it with the mentality of like, what's something that I've been wanting for like a long time, and it was a pretty obvious choice once I like thought about it, like thought about like what's something I've been wanting for a long time, and that is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I, you know, this came out almost a year ago, and ever since I saw the cover, I could not stop thinking about it. Like, this is one of the ones where the cover is what got me first, and part of me was like, I don't even care what this book is about. I want it for the cover. But the premise of this book sounds incredible, so that's just makes it even better. It makes the cover like actually worth it. But I've just heard so many people rave about this in the past year that I felt like it was time. It was this book's time for me to pick it up, and I'm so glad I did. And I can't wait to read it. It's an urban fantasy, takes place in New York City, and the premise is that every city has a soul, and New York City in particular has 5 souls, which I'm guessing will be the 5 boroughs. And these 5 souls, which based on the little description here, I think they're gonna be like human characters. They have to like battle some kind of like deep evil that's brewing underneath the city, which sounds like super fascinating, and I can't wait to read it. I love the idea of New York City not only as a setting, but also maybe like a character. Like, I love the concept of like the city is alive and breathing, because I like living here, I really feel that, and I like that it's actually going to be like personified, hopefully, in this novel. So yeah, can't wait to dive in. Per my 12 and 21 book budget rules, I purchased this from an indie bookstore, and my local indie is Astoria Bookshop, one of my favorite stores. They're still closed for browsing because of the pandemic, but they have a really great pickup system right now, where you can buy whatever books you want online, and then you can schedule a time to go pick them up, and you can usually pick them up next day, which I just think is so great, because I can place an order on like a Thursday or a Friday, and then Saturday afternoon I can take a lovely stroll through the neighborhood, grab a coffee, pick up the book. I make like a little adventure out of it, because it's like, a pretty far walk, but it's totally worth it. So shout out to Astoria Bookshop. And yeah, that's the purchase I made. Also, per my rules, I plan to finish The City We Became by the end of February, so be on the lookout for a review on that. And yeah, it's weird. I didn't like the. I'm thinking like once more like releases for the year like start piling on, like I might be more like really itching to buy something, but I don't know, I'm just like not in the mood. I'm very like satisfied with a lot of the books I have. Obviously there are a few books coming out later in the year that I want to get, but yeah, I'm feeling very contented with what I have, and that makes me really happy, especially the fact that we're only the first month into the year and I already feel that way. And that's the way I was hoping to feel like at the end of 2021. So I think we're off to a pretty good start with the book budgeting. I think I did a killer start with my reading goal. I already, if we're including that Folk of the Air novella. I've read 5 books, or 5 books? 6 books. I've read 6 books already this year, which, you know, is incredible considering I only set my goal at 30 books. So, you know, I think I'm on track to definitely surpass that. And yeah, like I said earlier, like books have really, really been my lifeboat this month, and I'm really looking forward to tackling that stack of books I got for Christmas, and also reading some books on my shelves that have been sitting there for a while that I haven't had the chance to get to. Um, so yeah, things are going okay. If you would like to see me elsewhere on the internet, I write on my blog, which is clurreads.com, and you can also check out my content on Instagram as well, which is also Clur Reads. Clur Reads everywhere. You could also follow me on Twitter, but I just like reblog art and memes about Animal Crossing, so I don't think you really want to follow me there. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, you are so kind and sweet and nice, and you would be even more kind and sweet and nice if you gave this video a thumbs up, or if you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you very soon, hopefully, if I get my act together. Yeah, okay, bye! Oh, I burped, dang it. And that was all the reading I did in February. Oh my gosh, no. That was not the reading I did in February because it's February 1st.